Alright, Shalom. Shalom. This is your brother Issachar coming back at you with another lesson. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wakwa Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Right, in today's lesson, we're going to go into how these ICBMs, these ballistic missiles, supersonic missiles, are prophecy. It's not just a coincidence that, India, North Korea, NATO, the US, China, that they're all doing what? Constantly testing their missiles. So these missiles are the Lord's army, and this is how the Lord is going to judge the earth by using them missiles. And the Lord has much more judgments all throughout. Okay, famine, plagues, the angels, Yahweh Shai. See, but the missiles, that's part of prophecy. So without further ado, let's get right into it. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 9 and verse 15. And the four angels were loosed, which were prepared for an hour and a day and a month and a year, for to slay the third part of men. Revelation chapter 9 verses 16 through 21. And the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000. So that's talking about not horses, the missiles. And I heard the number of them. So that's 200 million. And thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them having breastplates of fire and of jacinth and of brimstone. And the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions, and out of their mouths issued fire and smoke and brimstone. So this is describing the missiles. It's not talking about actual horses. By these three was the third part of men killed by the fire and by the smoke and by brimstone, which issued out of their mouths. For their power is in their mouth and in their tails. For their tails were like unto serpents, and had heads, and with them they do hurt. Revelation chapter 9 and verse 19. We're just going to break this down to show you believers out there, this is not talking about, lions or horses. It's talking about the missiles. For their power is in their mouth, because that's in the front where the nuclear warheads are, and in their tails, because horses don't have power in their tails, nor lions. They just wag from side to side. For their tails were like unto serpents, because the tail, the back of the rockets, the missiles, that's where the fuel's at. Okay, the rocket to launch it from one continent to the other. That's why they're simply called ICBMs, intercontinental ballistic missiles, and had heads. So the heads are the nuclear warheads in the front, and with them they do hurt, because these missiles were created for what? Destruction. And the rest of the men which were not killed by these plagues, yet repented not of the works of their hands, and that they should not worship devils and idols of gold and silver and brass and stone and of wood, which neither can see, nor hear, nor walk. Because this is what our people, okay, you wicked Israelites, worship. Okay, you guys got statues, crosses in your home. You guys, pray to the Virgin Mary and all that. Neither repented of their murders, nor their sorceries, because 2/3 they're a bunch of witches and warlocks. You see, but their judgments are going to be very harsh. Thus says Yahushai, because Yahushai, he hates witches. Nor of their fornication, nor of their thefts. Revelation chapter 11, verses 11 through 13. And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and a great fear fell upon them which saw them. So right now, who's feared? Okay, the elites are fearing because you Israelites are waking back up to you true biblical nationality, not no religion, okay, not no revolution. You Israelites are simply returning back to who you are. That's it. So why is it a problem to the elites? Because you are the Israelites. You see? There's power because you are the sons and daughters of Yahweh. Indeed. And those chariots, so-called UFOs, are for you, not for them. So this is why they bite their nails. This is why, they're jealous. They don't like you. Okay, you're already at the bottom. We're already slaves. So how can they hate us? They already took everything from us. Because you are the sons and daughters of Yahweh. See that? Revelation chapter 11, verse 12. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, Come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud. So the angels are beaming up the elect in the four corners of the world into that gigantic ship, that spaceship, and their enemies beheld them. So right here, when these bugged out churches and religion says, well, God loves everybody, right here it's saying, and their enemies beheld them. So that means there's going to be someone being left behind. There's going to be someone being left behind. It doesn't say everybody. It says, and their enemies beheld them. So someone's going to be watching a certain group go up into the ships. It doesn't say everybody. See? Revelations 11:13. And the same hour was there a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell. And in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000, and the remnant were affrighted and gave glory to the power of heaven, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. So right here, Revelations chapter 11, verse 13, is specifically talking about America. And the same hour was there a great earthquake. So when those missiles hit, and the 10th part of the city fell, because America is broken up into 10 FEMA regions. This is why, you have zip codes over there in Maine. It starts off at 000 something. And then it makes its way all the way over here to the west. And then it goes to, 900 something or 91 something, because it's broken up to 10 parts, 10 FEMA regions. And the earthquake were slain of men, 7,000. It don't mean just 7,000. It means a complete number of men are going to be destroyed here. Because remember, the elect are here also, but they're going to be beamed up. And the remnant were affrighted, because how we read in that verse, in the 11th, in the 12th verse, why they're going to be affrighted? Because they're going to be getting beamed up. The righteous are going to be getting beamed up into those ships. And they're going to be watching the wicked being left behind, being melted by what? those missiles. Okay, just imagine, what one, ICBM can do. But the Lord's saying thousands and thousands and thousands. Okay, the Lord's gonna straight, what you call overkill this place. And gave glory to the power of heaven. Yahweh B'Ashem Yahushai. See that? So, you righteous out there, just, stay firm. Stay upright, keep doing the right thing. The wicked are not going nowhere. And the Lord's saying that he has great judgments for them. So just stay on the right path, and the Lord's going to sort out the rest. Now we're going to go to Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 9. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon, America, an assembly of great nations from the north country. This is what you're seeing right now. Okay, Russia, China, North Korea, they're coming against Babylon, America, and they shall set themselves in array against her. And thence she shall be taken. How? Right here. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. Because it's not a regular arrow. Talking about those ICBMs. Now we're going to go down to the 13th verse. Jeremiah verses 50, verses 13 through 15. Because of the wrath of the Lord, it shall not be inhabited. So this is not up to man. This is the judgment of our Lord, our Creator. But it shall be wholly desolate, meaning flat, a desert, a wasteland. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at her plagues, because the earth haven't seen nothing yet. Okay, the Lord has not even begun to even show hardly anything. Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow. So the Lord is making all these other nations ready who have nuclear capabilities. They're saying, point them right here to Babylon. Shoot at her, spare no arrows. See that? So they just say, just shoot, your top ones, to shoot the ones that from your submarines. No, the Lord says, spare no arrows. So shoot everything from the silos, submarines, everywhere. Shoot everything you got. Don't waste one. Shoot them all. For she has sinned against the Lord. That's the point. We say, well, that's not right. How come that happened? Well, because you reap what you sow. This place is against the Lord. This place worships Satan and bafflement. You see? Shout against her round about. She hath given her hand. Her foundations are fallen. Her walls are thrown down. For it is the vengeance of the Lord. That's plain, because it's the Lord doing it. So it doesn't matter, what anybody says out there, Akim and Akwath, the Lord's in control. This is his program. Take vengeance upon her, as she had done, do unto her. So we don't really know, but the Lord's saying this. So right here, Babylon, she must have done a lot of things to these other nations. We only know so much, but the Lord has been watching this whole time. So this is why the Lord is telling the other nations, what Babylon did to you, go ahead and, pay back. Do it unto her. This is what the Lord's saying. Jeremiah chapter 50, verses 22 through 31. A sound of battle is in the land, and of great destruction. It's going to be very loud. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? Because Babylon, America, is known as the hammer of the earth. Why? Because they got the greatest military. So they go around, bullying everybody, just taking what they want. But they're about to meet, their maker, literally, Yahweh Shai. How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations? I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken. O Babylon, and thou was not aware. Thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord. The Lord's saying right there that they're clearly against the Lord. The Lord hath opened his armory and hath brought forth the weapons of his indignation, because that's those missiles, that's the Lord's army. Weapons of his indignation means righteous anger. For this is the work of the Lord of hosts, the Lord of armies, because he's doing it. He's in control. In the land of the Chaldeans, come against her from the uttermost border, open her storehouses, cast her up as heaps, and destroy her utterly. Let nothing of her be left. The Lord's saying, make it a total wasteland. So the Lord is very upset right here. Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 27. Slay all her bullocks, let them go down to the slaughter. Woe unto them, for their day is come. Here we go. For the time of their visitation. The Lord is about to visit them. He got a few words for them. The voice of them that flee and escape out of the land of Babylon, to declare in Zion the vengeance of the Lord our power, the vengeance of his temple. Call together the archers against Babylon, all ye that bend the bow. So everyone who has nuclear capabilities, point them right here to Babylon. Camp against it round about, let none thereof escape. Recompense, meaning payback her according to her work. So she had to have done a lot of stuff to not only you Israelites, but to also these heathens as well. You know, there's a reason why, you know, these Arabs these Arabs and these other nations, there's a reason why they want a piece of Babylon so bad, you know? According to all that she had done. So you hear that? All that she had done. So, you know, we only know so much, but the Lord's saying it right here, all that she had done. So Babylon, obviously, America has been doing a whole lot around the world. A whole lot of folly. Do unto her, for she had been proud against the Lord. Okay, so that was the first wrongdoing right there, because not only are they doing wrongly against these other nations and to their own people, but they've been proud against the Lord. See that? So right here, Babylon, they just want to take on everybody. You see? Against the Holy One of Israel. Therefore shall her young men fall in the streets, and all her men of war shall be cut off in that day, said the Lord. So that's talking about that draft. Because right here in Babylon, America, there's going to be a draft very soon. World War I and World War II, the majority of Americans that were out there were drafted. Just look it up. Behold, I am against thee, O thou most proud. This is the Lord speaking, said the Lord of hosts, Lord of armies. For the day is come, the time that I will visit thee. It's plain. Jeremiah 51 and 11. Make bright the arrows, gather the shields. The Lord hath raised up the spirit of the king of the Medes. Talking about the Russians. For his device, here we go, is against Babylon. So who's he making those missiles for? To destroy it. Because it is the vengeance of the Lord. See? The vengeance of his temple. So you can't, you know, people say, well, that's messed up. You know, how come they're talking about, you know, Babylon, this and that? Well, the Lord's telling us right here, it's plain. Because the Lord has been watching this whole time. You know, our Lord, you got to remember, you know, he's immortal. He's a God. He does not die. He's been gone over 2,000 years. See? So he's been alive this whole time, watching. And remember how he left this earth. He wasn't in the best mood. Remember how they treated them. Just keep that in the back of your mind. Isaiah chapter 13 verse 17. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, talking about the Lord saying that he's going to stir up the Russians against Babylon, America, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. Also going into these foreign troops, these sleeper cells. Okay, when this place is invaded, when the sleeper cells get their green light, okay, they can't wait to get their hands over here against these Babylonians in America. Their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, talking about the missiles. They shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eye shall not spare children. Yes, because the missiles don't spare. Okay, if there's a small child or elder, no. Okay, when those missiles hit, it destroys everything in its path. 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse 1. Woe be unto thee, Babylon and Assyria. Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria. Talking about America, Babylon. Gird up yourselves with cloths of sack and hair. Bewail your children and be sorry. Here we go. For your destruction is at hand. A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? 2nd Ezra chapter 16 in verse 4, and we're going to go all the way down to the 16th verse. A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? Plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? Because who can drive away these plagues from the Lord? Nobody can. Pharaoh thought the same thing, Nimrod. See? May any man drive away a hungry lion in the wood? Or may anyone quench the fire in stubble when it hath begun to burn? May one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer? The mighty Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, sendeth the plagues. That's plain right there. Okay, when people say, well, the Lord doesn't do these things. He's telling you. Okay, he's bringing these things. He's bringing the famine. Okay, he's giving Esau on the left-hand side the green light. Because he controls both sides. Don't forget that. And who is he that can drive them away? A fire shall go forth from his wrath. And who is he that may quench it? Because that's nuclear fire. Very hot. He shall cast lightnings, and who shall not fear? He shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid? The Lord shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence? So when the Lord gets here, he's going to start, shooting laser beams at the wicked. They're about to be vaporized, turned to powder. Just like that movie War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise. But except that, how they had in that movie Tom Cruise, those people were kind of like dodging the lasers. No. Okay, the angels are very accurate. They're not going to be missing. The earth quaketh, and the foundation thereof. The sea ariseth up with waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled, and the fishes thereof also before the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and before the glory of his power. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. So Yahushai is Yahweh's right hand. He's getting these missiles ready. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss, when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. So what normal arrows do you know that can be shot from continent to continent? This is going to the ICBMs. The Lord is preparing them. Behold, the plagues are sent, and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. The fire is kindled, and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth. 2nd Ezra 16 and 16. Like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backward, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon earth shall not return again. Because the Lord's saying once those missiles are shot off, that's it. Okay, he's judging the earth. And he's going to hit, it's not just Babylon, there's several parts of the earth that the Lord's going to be judging. So now we're going to go to the book of Job. The book of Job, chapter 2, verses 1 through 11. This is also going to the missiles. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble. So everybody, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand. A day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness. This is describing the day of the Lord. As the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong, there hath not been ever like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. So this is going to be, one heck of a day. A fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. Talking about the missiles. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yea, and nothing shall escape them, because there's no escape for the wicked. The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen so shall they run, because horses is a representation of power. Because when you go buy an automobile, what do you ask them? You want to know how powerful it is. How many horsepower does it have? Like the noise of chariots on the tops of mountains shall they leap. Like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the stubble. As a strong people set in battle array. Before their face the people shall be much pain. All faces shall be gathered blackness. So everyone's gonna be terrified when they hear that it's not a drill, that missiles are being shot off. Joel chapter 2 verse 7. They shall run like mighty men, they shall climb the wall like men of war, and they shall march everyone on his ways, and they shall not break their ranks. So they're not gonna, bump into each other, veer off into the ocean. Neither shall one thrust another. See, because they're not gonna bump into each other. They shall walk everyone in his path, and when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. So when those missiles are shot off, the angels are going to grab them. And the spirit of Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, are going to be inside those missiles. They shall run to and fro in the city. They shall run up the wall. They shall climb up the houses and enter at the windows like a thief. The earth shall quake. Because after thousands and thousands of missiles hit different parts of the earth, the whole earth's going to shake. The heavens shall tremble, the sun and the moon shall be dark, because you're not going to be able, I'm not saying that the sun and the moon are not going to give off their light, it's just saying because of all the smoke, all the fire, the whole land's going to be dark, so you're not going to be able to see. This is how dark everything's going to be, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. Joel 2:11, and the Lord shall utter his voice before his army. See that? Because the missiles, that's his army. For his camp is very great. So what do you see these nations around the world testing? See? For he is strong that executeth his word. For the day of the Lord is great and very terrible. Bam. And who can abide in it? So who can survive everything that the Lord's bringing. So we're going to go to the book of Malachi, chapter 4, verses 1 through 5. Malachi chapter 4 verse 1. For behold, and the headline right above it says, God's judgment on the wicked. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, there's a lot of you proud doers out there, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. The day cometh shall burn them up, said the Lord of hosts, Lord of armies, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. But unto you that fear my name, so you righteous, shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings. So you're going to go, the elect are going to go up into those ships. Meanwhile, the wicked are being melted. And ye shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall. And ye shall tread down the wicked, for they shall be ashes under the soles of your feet. See? So don't worry about the wicked. The Lord's telling you right here what's about to happen to them. In the day that I shall do this, plain, said the Lord of hosts, Lord of armies. Remember ye the law of Moses, my servant, which I commanded unto him in Horeb for all Israel with statutes and judgments. So that's what makes us separate, because we got the laws, statutes, and commandments. Behold, I will send you Elijah, J. Ava Bivens, 1969, the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord. Before the great and dreadful day of the Lord. Malachi chapter 4 and verse 5. See that? So the Lord's saying he's about to judge the whole earth. He created everything and everyone. So that's pretty much it on today's lesson. Akim and Aqua, stay strong, stay on the path. Okay, let no man or woman take you off your path. Let no man take thy crown. Just keep enduring, stay upright, walk in your integrity, and the Lord is going to help his elect. Shalom, Akim.